We're recording?
Yep.
I'm Carol Seek. I'm one of the third grade teachers, and I want to talk about project-based learning, one of the hallmarks of 21st century teaching and learning, and how in my process in Grow this spring I came to understand more about it. This is actually the second take of filming. You all remember that we lower schoolers did a project on Earth Day about water for South Sudan. We had an arcade, we had bake sale, we had a walkathon. And I had found a great checklist for project-based learning, and what I wanted to do was see how our project matched up against the items on the checklist. And in the first take of this filming, I went into great detail about how the project matched the different items on the checklist. And then I realized that you all don't really need to know that, because you don't really care whether or not it met those checklists, because it was our project, not your project. But what I did realize, and what I want to say, is that when I read over the checklist, I was pleasantly surprised how many of the items on the checklist our project did indeed meet. And what I'd like to do now is list the 8 items on the checklist which came from the Buck Institute for Education, and maybe have you think about something you've done, and I bet you'll be pleasantly surprised at how many of the items it meets, your project meets. Focus on significant content. Develop 21st century skills, critical thinking, problem solving, communication, collaboration. Engage students in in-depth inquiry. Organize tasks around a driving question. Establish a need to know. Encourage voice and choice for the students. Incorporate revision and reflection. I sure wish we'd had more time to do that. And include a public audience. What doing this helped me realize that 21st century learning is not some strange, completely different way of doing our business. For some of us in some areas, it may involve wholesale change in how we approach a subject. And for other people and in other instances, it's going to be more of a gradual adaptation. My point is that we're all good teachers, and that often if our gut says that a project is centered on the needs and interests of the kids, with a real audience and a real outcome, we're most likely conducting 21st century learning and teaching. If we're keeping our kids at the center of what we do and making sure that they're involved in every step of the process, we're on target.